row 3 of our left sleeve. 1 single crochet in the next 9 single crochets, and then 1 double crochet in the next 21 double crochets, 1 single crochet in the next 4 single crochets, chain 1 and turn. And what we're doing, we're working on our sleeve. So these first stitches here, the single crochets, is our neck, and then we go down the sleeve. Then when we get to the end, it starts to taper off, and this is the cuff that is on our sleeve, those last stitches there. So what we want to do is single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So this actually gives us a total of 10 stitches on the end here, because our first stitch is our chain 1, and that counts as our first stitch. So the next 9 stitches plus our chain is, so that's just 9 plus 1 is 10. So we just keep going along, and this pattern is fabulous. We don't need to count those 10 stitches, because we know once we get to that double crochet, that's when we start doing our double crochets. So where it says 1 double crochet into the next 21 double crochets, you can count them, or you can just keep double crocheting until we get to the end here, where our stitches change, and our last double crochet goes into our last double crochet here, because our next stitch is a single crochet. So just keep going across until we have 21 stitches. So my next stitch is my last double crochet, so working into the back loops only. Oops, sorry guys. Then we know our next one is our single crochet, and on our pattern it says 1 single crochet into the next 4. So working in the back loops only still. That's 2, 3, and 4. And it says to chain 1 and turn. So chain 1 and turning your work around. We're working back down there. And our next row is row 4. And that says 1 single crochet in the next 4 single crochets, 1 double crochet in the next 21 double crochets, and 1 single crochet in the next 9 single crochets, chain 1 and turn. So first of all, 1 single crochet in the next 4 single crochets. Or you just single crochet until we get to that first double crochet stitch. So it's here, so we know we only need to go to there, because that's where our single crochet stitches end. So our next one is our double crochet. So that part in our pattern says 1 double crochet in the next 21 double crochets, and that will take us 21 double crochets will take us up to here, where our pattern changes to single crochets. So do 21 stitches, or until you get up to your last double crochet on the previous row. Don't forget, back loops only, to give it this lovely ribbed look to our pattern. And this is going to make it nice and stretchy as well, so it will accommodate, you know, little chubby chubba bubba. And also where the nappy sort of gives them a big bum and a waist, it's going to accommodate that as well. And also any extra layers that you want to put under it if it's a cold day. So that's why this is, like I've said before already, it's a fantastic pattern. So I'm up to my last double crochet stitch there, and on our pattern it says 1 single crochet in the next 9 single crochets. So where it changes to single crochets there, where you're going to change to a single crochet and go all the way to the end. and then we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. Row 5. 1 single crochet in the next 9 single crochets, 1 double crochet in the next 21, and 1 single crochet in the next 4 single crochets, chain 1 and turn. So first of all, we want to do 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches. Now by now you shouldn't even need to watch most of this video. You could probably even just skip ahead if you know how to read patterns. It's such an easy pattern to follow that if you have got a bit of experience with following patterns, then you might not even need half of this video. But for us newbies out there, this is a great beginner's pattern. So we've done our 1 single crochet in our next 9 single crochets. Now we want to do 1 double crochet in the next 21 double crochets. And that will take us from here all the way until we get to about there where our single crochets start for our cuff. So you want to work 21 double crochets over the next 21 stitches. Don't forget, back loops only, and I'll meet you when we get close to the end. So the next part of our pattern says 1 single crochet in the next 4 single crochets. So working into our back loops only. 2, 3, and go through both loops on that last one. That's what I always do. I'm sure you've been doing that already. So then it says chain 1 and turn. So chain 1 and turn your work. Now our next row is row 6. Oops, I only want row 6. There we go. 1 single into the next 4 singles, and then 1 double into the next 21 doubles. 1 single in the next 9 singles, chain 1 and turn. So that's 1 single in the next 4 singles. I think we can handle that, can't we, guys? So here we go. Next 4, so we just want a single across until we get to our doubles. We're there now, and then our pattern says 1 double in the next 21 doubles, so that's yarning over, going into the back loops only with a double crochet, and you're going to go all the way until we run out of double crochets. And then we get to here, which is the top of our jacket, and then do our 9 singles into our last 9 single stitches there. So I will just continue on and I'll catch up to you at the end of the row. So we're just coming up to our last couple of double stitches here. There we go. And then we've changed to our singles, so that's on our pattern. It reads 1 single crochet into the next 9 single crochets, chain 1 and turn. So just working across in our single stitches only, working a single stitch into it as well, of course. I know this bit's fast, but you know what I'm doing. It's just a single going into the last one with both loops over your hook. And then it says chain 1 and turn. So turning your work. Let's see what our next row says. Our next row is rows 7 to 18. And this is where we just repeat our work. Rows 7 to 18. We repeat rows 5 and 6. So that's the last 2 rows that we've done. We repeat these until we have 18 rows, and do not break off the yarn because we are going to need it to continue on with the rest of the jacket. So repeat rows 5 and 6 until we have 18 rows altogether, and I will catch up to you when we are at that part. Okay, so when we count our 18 rows, you actually count this little tiny short row here, you count that as your first one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And when you count them, don't forget to stretch it out a bit, because you've got that little row that's hidden in there as well, so you need to stretch it out. So now we should be up to the left front, and let me just show you what we have so far. So there we go, the start is over here, and that's the front, one of our sleeves, the back, another one of our sleeves. So now we just need to do the other front piece. So you would have chained 1 and turned from your previous row, and going to our pattern here, left front, row 1, we want a 1 single crochet into the next 9, and then we want to do 1 double crochet in the next 7 doubles. Chain 26 and turn. So now we're adding on our left front piece. So first of all, 1 single crochet in the next 9 stitches. So you would have chained 1 and turned from your previous row. And then we want to go working into the back loops only, remember. And you should know that by now, we've been doing it long enough. Excuse me. And we're just working single crochets into the back loops only. And I haven't been counting my stitches as I'm going along here, I'm just going off by what I've done before. So just single crocheting until I come to that very first double crochet. Or I could say the last single crochet. So we've got 1 more single just there. So that means we've got 1 more single crochet to do. Our next one is our double crochet. And in our pattern it says 1 double crochet in the next 7 double crochets. So let's do that. So working 7 double crochets, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then the next part of our pattern says chain 26. So we're going to do that. So I'll do that off camera because I'm sure you know how to make a chain by now. So you want to chain 26. So row 2, it says 1 double crochet into the 4th chain from the hook. So let's do that. And then it says 1 double crochet into the next 22 chains. So first of all, 1 double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So remembering we don't count the, sorry guys, bashing the camera. We don't count that first loop that's on our hook. This is our first one here, so we needed to go into the 4th. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So yarning over, going into that chain with a double crochet. And then the next part of the pattern says 1 double crochet in the next 22 chains. So yarning over, going into the next one. So that's 1, because it's the next 22, so that's 1, 2, and I'm going to do the rest off the screen, otherwise you're going to get bored watching me. So just go until you've got 22. So after you've done your 22, you should be up to here, which is our first, the next one is our first stitch there. So after we've done that, it says 1 double crochet in the next 7 double crochets, and then 1 single crochet in the next 9. So coming over here, we want to double crochet in the next 7 stitches. So now we're working into the main part of the jacket there. So we've just done the front bit there, and now we're working into the main part. So just go across until you have 7 stitches. So there we go, that was my 7th stitch, and now we have our single crochets here, and we're going to do a single crochet into the next 9 stitches. So working in the back loops only, just going across, working your single crochet until we get to the end, and then we're going to chain 1 and turn. So row 3 says 1 single crochet in the next 9 single crochets and 1 double in the next 31 doubles. Chain 3 and turn. So you would have done your chain 1 and turn from the previous row. So now we're going to double crochet along here. And this part's easy. You just single crochet into your single crochets, so that's your 9 stitches, and then double crochet in the rest. So we're going to single crochet into here, back loops only, so there we go, we just got 1 more stitch left, and then we're up to our double crocheting rows. So we're doing double crocheting into those as well, and we just want to go all the way until we get to the end, and then we're going to chain 3 and turn. Row 4, we've got 1 double in the next 30 doubles, and then 1 single in the next 9 singles, chain 1 and turn. So first of all, 1 double in the next 30. So we've done our chain 3 and turned from the previous row. Working into the back loops only, we are going to double crochet for 31 stitches. And if you can't be bothered counting, you want to double crochet along until you get to your last double crochet of your previous row. So you don't want to double crochet in there because that's a single stitch. You only want to double up to the last double. So from where my hook is to there, you should have 30 stitches on your row. So I'm coming up to my last double crochet of that row there, working into the back loop. And now we have singles. So going in the back, working singles all the way to the end of our row. And by now you will be able to see your little baby jacket taking place. And I think this is the sweetest little and the easiest cute pattern that I've ever done myself, and I've been crocheting for quite a long time. So we've done our chain 1 and turn from the previous row, and now we're on row 5. 1 single in the next 9 singles, and then 1 double in the next 31 doubles. Chain 3 and turn. So we just want to single across, working in our back loops only, of course, but we already knew that, didn't we? Until we get up to our last single, this little section here. So I'm not even counting, I'm just going across. As long as you're paying attention, you won't have to count on most of them. So there we go, we've got our first double crochet, because that one is a single. So our first double, we want a double in there, and in our pattern it reads one double in the next 31 doubles. So from here to the end of the row should be 31 stitches. When we get to the end, we're going to chain 3 and turn. So just continue on till the end of the row. So we've done our chain 3 and turn. In our next row, in our pattern, is rows 6 to 11. Repeat rows 4 and 5, but do not chain 3 at the end. And now we can break off our yarn. So that means we've finished, nearly. So you want to repeat rows 4 and 5 until we have 11 rows. So you go ahead and do that, and I will catch up in the video when we have finished row 11. Okay, so I'm using 8-ply, and I've used a 100-gram ball, and I've just basically finished here, and I've only got this left. So I'm going to need the second 100-gram ball in 8-ply to finish off the neck and maybe sew it up. I might be able to use this part here to sew it up. So you are going to need 150 grams, I think the pattern said, because this is only 100, so I do need that extra bit to do the neck and sew it up. So once we come to the end, I just like to do a chain, pull out your yarn, and then just pull tight, and that secures it off so that it's not going to come undone, and then you need to sew in your ends.